Man, I try to come on here and not be negative all the damn time when it comes to WWE, man. Like, I try not to. But it's just so difficult not to. Especially when there are definitely things that I don't really like on the show. And, look, I'm not trying to wake up every Tuesday being all like, oh man, I can't wait to hate watch WWE and just talk a lot of negative shit about WWE. Like, that's not the kind of person I am. I want to say positive things. I want to find things that I enjoy. But there just isn't. There just really isn't much to really say about this episode of Raw. Seth Rollins kicked off the show with his faction. He's talked and all that. And then eventually that all leads to Bron Breakker having a match with Penta. And look, this is what I've been saying about WWE signing people from AEW. Like, where the heck has Rey Fenix been? Rey Fenix, like, hasn't been seen for a while on SmackDown. And now we've got Penta taking losses to Bron Breakker. Now, I know some people are going to be all like, well, hey, the matchup was good and all that stuff. Like, I understand where people are like, oh, the match is good, so therefore the match, it doesn't matter. But if you were a fan of Penta and you were excited for his stuff in AEW, if you enjoyed his stuff in AEW and you're a big follower of his, like, you would be disappointed. You would be disappointed with how things are going for him. He went from being a challenger to the Intercontinental title to now being laid out by Bron Breakker. Like, I get they need to build up Seth's faction and all that, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about this, man. Like, I'm getting pretty starting to get a bit worried for Penta here. Especially his brother Rey, considering that I don't think he's been on TV for a few weeks. So I've definitely noticed that. And see, this is why I don't like Triple H ignoring the brand split. And this is why I don't like Triple H ignoring the brand split, by just having people turn up on different shows. It leaves people off the card. It leaves people who are on that brand off the card. This is why I don't like when Triple H just breaks the rules of the brand split. He needs to be committed to a brand split. If he's not going to be committed to a brand split, then just end the brand split. But with the huge roster WWE has, they need a brand split. You can't just have this huge ass roster and be all like, yeah, we don't need a brand split anymore. We don't need to do any of that crap anymore. Like, you need a brand split for the amount of superstars they have. Especially if you have the same people on the shows every week. If you're going to have the same big stars on the shows every week, like if we see Punk twice a week on Raw and SmackDown and Cody twice a week on Raw and SmackDown and etc., it'll just get tiring, you know? It'll get tiring of seeing these same people on both shows. You need to have a brand split. They need to keep the brand split around. It would make more sense if they didn't have a massive roster, but they have a massive roster due to the amount of people they're signing. And this is why I didn't like the idea of Penta and Rey Fenix being on separate shows. This is why I didn't like the idea of them being on separate shows. I'm like, they need to be a tag team. They really do need to be a tag team. And I really hope if they are planning a draft, Triple H moves Penta or Rey to the exact same show of their brother and put them back together. They really need to be a tag team. Especially considering the tag team division on Raw is not that good right now. Bill Goldberg, good old Billy Boy Oldberg, you know, everybody's favorite WCW part-timer who just can't seem to go away. Now, it has been said that this will be his final match. Now, while I am happy that this is going to be his final match, It's just how WWE are labeling it. WWE are labeling it as his final match. I mean, like, I felt like they should have been all like, when Goldberg challenged Gunther for the title, Gunther should have been like, okay, I will only defend this title against you if you agree to put your career on the line. If you lose, you retire. And then you should have Goldberg agree. That's how I felt they should have gone with this direction. But then they're just like, nah, they're just gonna fight each other, and we're just gonna tell everybody it's Goldberg's last match. Like, there's no stakes. There's no stakes in this. It's just, this is Goldberg's last match. Like, I felt like it would have been better if Goldberg wanted to fight for the title, but then Gunther says, I will only fight you if you put your career on the line. To me, that would have been better. Jade Cargill and Roxanne in the Queen of the Ring semi-finals. Now, I will agree this was a good match. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, bad match overall, and all that. It was a good match. It was probably Jade's best performance in a while. I think it might have been Jade's best performance. I'm not that keen on Jade. Even when I briefly saw her in AEW, I wasn't really all that big on her. Like, she had potential. Like, the potential was there, I felt, for Jade. Like, the potential was there for Jade when I saw her in AEW. But here in WWE, she's kind of been hit and miss. Like she's had some good performances, and she's kind of had some bad ones, and all that. They paired her with Bianca Belair to try and get the crowd to care about her, which honestly I think was a mistake. Like, they only just did that just so then the fans will care about her, and, you know, and she won't get lost in the shuffle. But yeah, this was by far one of Jade's best matches, and it shouldn't be that big of a surprise because of how good Roxanne is. But the obvious outcome was very obvious. Jade Cargill wins the match with a Jaded. Now, this was pretty obvious. I don't think anybody would have predicted that Jade Cargill was going to be losing. I've got a feeling Jade Cargill probably might win Queen of the Ring. So, there's two outcomes we're going to be getting here, considering Asuka won on SmackDown. There's going to be two outcomes we're going to be getting. It's either going to be Asuka versus Io Sky at SummerSlam, or it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Because they said the winner will face their brand's champion. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I feel like Asuka versus Io is the better match. Because at least it'll be a good match. In my humble opinion, I don't think Jade and Tiffany is going to be that great. I do not think Tiffany and Jade is going to be a great match. So I think Asuka and Io should be the direction. So I'm hoping Asuka wins the Queen of the Ring tournament so we can get Asuka versus Io. Because I think that would be at least it'll be a good match. And I feel like it would at least be a good match. And it will be a match that I can actually say is SummerSlam worthy. Not Jade and Tiffany. Like, that match should be saved for, like, Evolution. You know, Tiffany and Jade can be, like, the Evolution match. You know, like, have that take place at Evolution instead. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. So, Roxanne gave Jade her best performance, which isn't much of a shocking surprise. But it was pretty predictable that Roxanne was unfortunately going to lose. Gunther fires back at Goldberg and pretty much, you know, cuts a promo on him and all that. And, you know, I am still a fan of Gunther, but I've been losing quite a fair amount of interest in Gunther as of late. And it's mainly due to the fact that they constantly make him a champion. Like, I get it. He's a great wrestler. And I do appreciate good wrestling. I do appreciate good wrestlers. But does Gunther really always need to be a champion? 90% of this guy's entire WWE career is him being a champion. Champion for over 800 days in NXT UK. Intercontinental Champion for 666 days. And now 2 world title reigns. The only time he wasn't a champion was when he went to NXT 2.0. That was really the only time he wasn't a champion. And to be fair, he looked pretty out of place in NXT 2.0, so I can see why they probably didn't want him in NXT for very long. But again, but still, this guy has been champion through like 90% of his career in WWE. I would rather him lose the title, not to Goldberg obviously, but I'd rather him lose the title so then we can finally see him, you know, have some time out of the title picture. You know, people talk about how Rhea Ripley needs to get out of the title picture, which I will get to Rhea. I will get to what happened to her tonight. Like, people talk about Rhea needing to get out of the title picture. People talk about Charlotte needing to get out of the title picture. People talk about Alexa Bliss needing to get out of the title picture. People talk about Becky Lynch and all them that need to stay out of the title picture. How come I don't hear this for people like Gunther? Like, people complain about the good women's wrestlers, like the people I just named, Rhea, Charlotte, Alexa, Becky, you know, all the good women's wrestlers, you know, people complain about them needing to stay out of the title picture and let other people have a go. Then why are no one saying that about Gunther? I've never heard anyone complain about Gunther being a world champion. I have not heard a single person complain about Gunther always being in the title picture. All I keep hearing is Gunther's a champion, the world is healing, or something like that. Like, you know, like, it feels like people are perfectly fine with Gunther constantly challenging and winning championships. And honestly, I think people need to understand the term double standards. Like, if you're going to complain about certain people being in the title picture, then you need to do the same thing for other people. You can't complain about Rhea, Charlotte, Becky, and all these other people always being in the title picture on the women's side of things, but then be okay with the males always being in the title picture, and you don't complain about it at all. So I feel like double standards needs to be looked at here when it comes to how I feel about that. So Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles for the IC title gets cancelled. I don't know what reason they cancelled it, but the match got cancelled, and it's being replaced with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Who the hell wants to see this? Oh wait, all the people that have been rallying for Karrion Kross. That's who wants to see this match. All the people that are now all of a sudden Karrion Kross fans, all because of one freaking promo he cut on WrestleMania. All because of one promo this guy cut when he went on a tirade, which, in a sense, I agree with what Karrion said, but everyone became fans of him just because of this promo. And don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't say, oh, I've always been a Karrion Kross fan. If you have always been a fan of him, then great. But to me, it feels like people are only cheering this guy now because of his promo that he cut after WrestleMania, where he got all pissed off at Logan Paul and all that shit. And how WWE have been treating people that are good soldiers. You know? This love for Karrion Kross has just come completely out of nowhere, and I don't think he really deserves it. I don't think he deserves this kind of push just because of one promo he cut. He hasn't done anything to prove to me or anybody else that he deserves the opportunities he deserves. But yeah, Dominic and AJ Styles is cancelled for some dumb reason, and now things are being replaced with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Wow, what a downgrade! What a downgrade from a title match to a non-title match. Speaking of title matches that should have taken place at Night of Champions, Becky Lynch and Bayley for the IC title. The most predictable ending here. Lyra Valkyria gets involved. Everybody predicted this. No one would have ever predicted that Becky Lynch was going to drop the title. Like, no one would have ever predicted this match was going to have a clean winner. This match was always going to end with Lyra getting involved. See, this is what I mean. Like, this is the kind of stuff that people pay money for. This is the kind of stuff that people would pay money to see, and they're going to feel slighted. They're going to feel slighted and pissed off that a match that they probably paid a good amount of money to see ultimately got ruined. Imagine being a fan where you said, oh, the match I'm looking forward to tonight is Becky Lynch versus Bayley. And then this is the result you get. I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed if this was the outcome I got. I spent so much money to see these two wrestlers fight each other, and this is the result I get. So yeah, really predictable here. Never once really believed that this match should have, happened on Raw. And yeah, waste of time. That's what I considered this match. A complete waste of time. You could have just done this exact same thing at Night of Champions. You could have done this exact same thing at Night of Champions. Or better yet, just have Becky and Bayley fight each other at Night of Champions. But whatever. So Chad Gable, he was backstage talking to Penta. Penta snaps at him and all that. Yeah, no one cares. Look, I like Chad and all, but man, this El Grande Americano thing it's just ruining his career. The El Grande Americano thing is absolutely ruining this guy's career, and no one can tell me any different. Okay, here we go. This is going to be one of the things I'm probably going to be talking about quite heavily, so I hope you guys are ready. Raquel Rodriguez, she comes down and she talks about Liv Morgan's injury. She's all butthurt about Liv's injury, and of course, WWE does not vacate the women's tag team titles because that's typical of them. Instead of just, doing the right thing and actually vacating the damn belts, they've got Raquel carrying both of them. They've got Raquel carrying both belts, and instead of just vacating them, they're just like, no, we'll just have Raquel carry them both. I swear to God, man, if this leads into Roxanne being given Liv's title, I'm going to be livid. And I didn't say that as a pun because of her name, because her name is Liv Morgan. I'm going to be so pissed, because I swear to God, they do this all the time with the women's tag team titles. Every time someone gets injured, they just flat out refuse to vacate them. They'll just give them to someone else. Becky and Lita, when Lita got hurt, they just had Trish Stratus sub in for Lita and defend the titles. And defend the title with Becky as Lita's substitute. Sonya Deville, when she got injured, instead of vacating the titles, they just had Piper Niven come in, grab the belt that Chelsea was holding, and claimed herself as her partner, and just walked away. Bianca and Jade, when Jade got hurt, they just had Naomi. They just gave Jade's belt to Naomi. I'm so goddamn sick and tired of them doing this all the time with the women's tag team titles. And you see why people don't take these titles seriously anymore, because anyone can just be champion. Anyone can just be champion. If someone gets hurt, just pass the belt to someone else. There is no division outside of Natalya and Maxine. There is no division. Oh yeah, and that stupid Secret Service shit that no one cares about. I know they're probably planning on having Alexa and Charlotte in the tag division, but there's barely any teams. There's barely any teams. WWE need to be focusing on building up new tag teams, but of course they don't care about that. They don't care how many teams they have. They don't care about how many teams they have. But yeah, that's one big problem. Instead of just vacating the belts, they just have Raquel carrying them both. And Rhea Ripley and Raquel seem to have a big fight because they're building up a feud between them. Remember, fans wanted Rhea Ripley out of the title picture, and this is the reward that people get. So I hope that all the people that have been saying Rhea Ripley needs to find new feuds and stop annoying Io Sky and wanting to fight for her title, hopefully all those people are satisfied and happy with what they're getting here, because certainly I'm not too thrilled about this. I'm not too thrilled about Rhea and Raquel fighting each other. So, another problem I'm not a fan of, and I hope a lot of people agree with me on this, because I've noticed this as of late, and it's really been bugging me. It's really been bugging me as of late. So, Raquel pulls out a table, a Slim Jim table, as they call it now. So stupid. And then Rhea looks like she's got the upper hand. Roxanne comes out and aids Raquel because, you know, she's technically a part of the Judgment Day. And then Rhea fights her off, and then Raquel Dahana bombs Ripley through the Slim Jim table and stands tall. I am probably going to be one of those people that needs to say it. I do not like seeing table spots every week. Ever since they put that stupid sponsor of Slim Jim on those tables, I've noticed every single week we get a table spot. Every single week there has to be a table spot now because of this stupid sponsor. Because if they don't use any tables, no sponsor money. So now, tables were the one weapon that fans really like. Because, you know, every show not every show, but a lot of the shows we want tables chants. The tables, fans love and admire. They love and adore a table spot. But now, WWE have taken this one step too far by putting the Slim Jim logo on the tables. And now every single week, there has to be a table spot for the sponsorship money. Because if they don't use a table spot, if they don't do a table spot, no sponsor money. So every single week now, there has to be a table spot so then they can get money from the Slim Jim. This is the biggest thing I am not a fan of. They are basically ruining what makes tables special. They're ruining what makes people love tables. No one asked for table spots every week. Yes, fans really do enjoy table spots. In my opinion, I don't really care for table spots all that much unless they're really brutal. But usually I don't really care all that much for table spots as long as they're actually, you know, impactful and the spot they do is good with them. But yeah, I'm not the biggest table spot guy as long as they're done well, that I can actually find it believable and go, ooh, and cringe in pain, you know. But no, they're turning it into a weekly tradition now. Cody Rhodes' Fatal 4-Way. Shinsuke drop-kicked Cody through a table. John Cena put CM Punk through a table last week and did his pipe bomb on Punk. And now this week with Raquel putting Rhea Ripley through it. So we now need table spots every single week because of this Slim Jim sponsor. And I can't stress enough how much I do not like it. I can't stress enough how much I don't like this. And I know there are going to be people out there that are going to defend this. I know there are going to be people out there that's going to defend it by saying, oh, but we like tables, so people are going to like it because we want tables. But, yeah, fans may want tables, but I don't think fans want tables every week. I don't think fans want tables every Monday, Friday, and every PLE. Like, table spots are supposed to be rare, saved for special occasions. They're either supposed to be saved for special occasions or usually for big spots in matches. but now they're just becoming a marketing tool for the sake of a sponsor. So yeah. And so Ripley after that went to Adam Pearce. She demanded a match with Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, and Adam Pearce agreed. I thought it was going to be happening on Raw next week because I predicted that this match was probably going to be saved for Evolution, but no, I found out that this match is taking place at Night of Champions. Why? Can someone tell me how this makes any sense? Like, we've got Ripley and Raquel in a street fight, Sammy and Cross, and the two finals of the King and Queen of the Ring. We've only got 2 title matches on a pay-per-view that's literally called Night of Champions. 2 title matches. We originally had 3. But they took Dominic and AJ out. Don't know why, but they did. And now we've only got 2. We've got Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa for the United States title, and John Cena and CM Punk. How in the world can people look at this card and say, yes, this is exactly what Night of Champions should look like? Remember when Night of Champions, the tradition that Night of Champions was that every single title had to be defended? Remember that old Night of Champions banner, the entranceway where all the titles were dangling off the staging area? Like, man, oh man, I miss those days, man. Like, Night of Champions' concept is supposed to be every single title is defended, but Triple H is just like, nah, we're only going to have 2 titles defended on this pay-per-view that is called Night of Champions. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I just don't understand how any of this makes any sense. Rhea and Raquel aren't fighting for a belt. Neither are Sammy and Karrion. Traditions are being ruined by Triple H. He should know the concept of Night of Champions. He should understand the concept of Night of Champions is that every belt must be defended. But not in the Triple H Paul Levesque regime. Yes, we've gotten 6 matches on this card, and only 2 of them are title matches. This man would rather piss away title matches on episodes of Raw and SmackDown instead of just saving them for PLEs where they would matter more. Shameful. Shameful. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso main event. The Yeet versus the Whoa! While these two did have a good match, Cody Rhodes ultimately wins. He defeats Jey, and he's going to fight Randy Orton in the finals. This has to be the most predictable King of the Ring tournament I think I've ever watched. This has to be the most predictable King of the Ring tournament I think I've ever seen. Like, there's no way people, like, the moment that graphic was shown, I immediately knew it was going to be Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton in the finals. There's no way any person that would look at that graphic and say, yeah, it's going to be Carmelo Hayes, he's going to go all the way. Yeah, it's going to be this guy, he's going to go all the way. No one would have believed that anyone other than Randy and Cody would have made it all the way. Well, yes, not having Randy and Cody win would have made things less predictable. Like, I thought Charlotte and Jade was going to be the match. I predicted Charlotte and Jade was going to be the match at Queen of the Ring. And yes, I was wrong, and I will admit that I was wrong. I will admit I was incorrect on that. But still, man, this King of the Ring tournament is just so darn predictable, and people will just sit there and say it's great. People will just say it's great because, oh, we're getting Cody versus Randy. We're getting Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the first time since God knows how long. We haven't seen them fight each other since when Cody had the mask on, when he had his paper bag gimmick. I think that was the last time they fought each other. I genuinely don't remember the last time Randy and Cody have fought each other. Yes, I know. I know. This is the first time we're going to be seeing them fight since Cody returned to WWE. But in my opinion, Cody versus Randy is a WrestleMania-worthy match that should be for the WWE Championship. Not some match you just waste away in the King of the Ring tournament. Randy versus Cody is bigger than King of the Ring. It's a WrestleMania main event worthy match. But yet Triple H is like, nah, we'll have them fight for a crown. We'll have them fight for a crown and a shot to fight John Cena. Yeah, that's the perfect time to do it. We won't do it during... We will not do it while Cody Rhodes is champion. We will do it when he isn't champion. When they fight for the crown, a chance to get a shot at the WWE title. Honestly, man, I don't want to be negative. I really don't want to be. I don't want to be negative, and I can't, and I just don't want to be. I don't want to be the kind of person that comes on here and be negative all the damn time about everything. As I told you guys at the start of this video, I don't wake up every morning wanting to hate talk WWE. I genuinely want to find things I enjoy about WWE, but WWE are just doing things that I do not agree with. They're just doing a lot of stuff I genuinely don't agree with. It's not hate talk here. It's just me being a fan of this product that I have watched for decades. I grew up loving this product for decades. And I'm just seeing Triple H just do things I don't agree with. I don't agree with these King and Queen of the Ring tournaments having fatal four-ways. I don't agree with some of the stuff he's been doing. But again, people just accept it because it's Triple H. Because it's Triple H in charge, people are perfectly fine with it. They're perfectly fine with it. And that's the thing that upsets me the most. It upsets me the most because people just accept it because, oh, it's not Vince McMahon running things. And I hate saying his name every single time I mention this. But it's the truth. People just accept Triple H and what he does because it's not Vince McMahon. I just wish people would start realizing Triple H is just as predictable and is obviously someone who really shouldn't, I shouldn't say he shouldn't be in charge. He should be in charge, but he should do things better. But he apparently doesn't care about his fans. He apparently doesn't care about his fans. He said it himself. He doesn't care about his fans. He doesn't like it when the fans speak their minds and give their opinions and tell them how they should be running the product. They don't like it. They didn't like us doing We Want Cody when they wanted to do Rock Roman. They didn't like it when we did We Want Truth. And they brought back Truth, and then Triple H had to blatantly lie and be all like, oh, it was part of the show. It was a part of the show, man. It was all part of the show. What are you talking about, fans brought back our Truth? No, it was all part of the show. Truth, they don't care. He doesn't care. He does not care about us. He doesn't care about us. He never has cared about us. If he truly cared about us, if he truly cared about his audience, he would know what we want. All he wants is what he wants. And what Triple H wants, he will get. That is all I've got for this Raw review, guys. See you guys next time.